under the lens of analysis. That is how we just begin from there. I am incomplete, wait a minute, let me see. I am unhappy, wait a minute, let me see whether I am really unhappy. That thought never arises in you. You are immediately active. So the source of desire is ignorance, Atma Ajnanam. We don't know who we are actually. We have a false sense of ourselves. And that false sense of ourselves is that Dukhi I am, Aham. I am a limited, miserable person. But if you analyze the Upanishad, if you study the Upanishad, what do the Upanishads talk about you? That is the pramana for knowing the Atman. Not that you assume things about yourself. You have not employed a pramana to know who you are. You are only sitting under a tree and thinking that I am miserable, I am limited, nobody recognizes me, nobody appreciates me, even my parents don't appreciate me, gurus don't appreciate me, my wife has no appreciation for me, and I am such a miserable wretch, I am sitting under this tree. That's your unanalyzed self-appreciation. But if you look into the Upanishad, take the Upanishads as a pramana. Pramana means a means of knowledge, knowing who you are. And the Upanishad says Satchidanando says, isn't it? You are that infinite, oceanic, blissful, borderless consciousness. That's what the Upanishad says. But instead of taking it as that as truth, you get into your own limited, rational, binary thinking, and you say, I am a limited person. So the source of desire or karma is self-ignorance. Self-ignorance because you did not expose yourself to the scriptures, the Guru. That is why this kind of a feeling. And from there, avidya. Then what is the next thing? Avidya, asmida, a wrong understanding of yourself. Asmida. Asmida means then you identify with the body, mind, ego complex. This is me. I am limited by the body, I am limited by the mind, I am limited by the intellect. So that kind of so you hug what is in front of you. When you forget who you are, then you identify with what is in front of you. What is in front of you is body, mind, ego complex. And all the three are object of your awareness. Please understand that. That you know I have a body. Just as you know I have a table. I have a buffalo with me. But you never say I am the buffalo. I have a donkey, but you never say I am a donkey. I have a house, but you never say I am a house. These are things which you have. I have a computer, but you never say I am the computer. Of course, sometimes the computer is missing, you feel, limited. That's a different question. So, the body is an object of your awareness and you are embracing the object and identifying with that. Deha parimanoham. I am limited by the body. That's the thought comes to you. Similarly, you are limited by the mind. Mind is a limited equipment. Mind is a limited facility. So, since there is self-forgetfulness or lack of self-understanding, you are settling for this limited object, the body, mind, ego complex, and you say, I am limited by this. So, that's called asmida by Patanjali. So, Atma Jnanam create this false identification and false identity. Identification, you identify with the body, mind, ego complex, and that becomes your identity. From asmida, that I am a limited person, and the limitation is conditioned by the body, determined by the body, and your limited knowledge. Your knowledge is limited. When you say I am a doctor, then you are identifying with that memory self and say I am a doctor. Since when you became a doctor? After going to the medical college, isn't it? And there you studied, then you acquired those memory, then you say I am a doctor. So I am a doctor is an acquisition, something which you picked up on the way. And after 80 or 85, then all that memory cells die, and now you say, what are you now? You are not a doctor, you are ex-doctor. Now you are not a doctor, all that memory has gone. So we are identifying with this, whatever we pick up, and what you got, you may lose later. So this kind of identification is called asmida. And firm asmida, that asmida is a limited asmida. I feel I am limited by this. Because when you are a doctor, you may feel I am not an engineer, I am not an accountant, I am not a lawyer, I am not a politician, I am not a businessman. All these thoughts come. Because that's a limited knowledge. An engineer wants to be a doctor, doctor wants to be an engineer. And doctor wants to be, some doctors want to be a chef. I had a friend who was a doctor, MD doctor, and then after 10 years I meet him, he's a chef. I told him, what happened to you? Why you change? Oh, medicine is very difficult, I have to meet patients every day, and I am fond of food, so I became a chef, he says. And he is happy about that. He is happy about it. So he changed his identification, and he changed his identity also. So these are changeable costumes. You can take it and you can discard it. So, but we are stuck with this identification, the body, mind, ego complex, and it's a limited entity, and we feel limited, and from there comes the desire to become limitless. That's how desire comes. So kamaha is preceded by ajnanam, avidya. And avidya produces this false sense of oneself, that I am a limited person. And from there, kama arises. Avidya, kama and karma. And from there, activities arise. And what is the purpose of activity? So that I will have this. And when I have this, I will be a happy person. So you already lost your original happiness. Then you are searching for happiness in the world outside. So, and then when you get things, there is a temporary release from desire, isn't it? When you desire a cup of coffee, early in the morning when you get up, the first thought comes is, I need a cup of coffee. And as long as the desire is there, there is disturbance. Because the desire takes you away from the center. Desire takes you away from the center, and then you are disturbed. Then you need a cup of coffee, and when you get the coffee, you come back to the center. I say, I am okay now, I got the coffee. But then another desire comes. Coffee is there, but there is no sugar. There is no sugar in the coffee. And then again you are moved away from the center. You become an eccentric person, off the center person. And then you have some sugar, you put it, again you come back to the center. But when you come back to the center, still you are ignorant. You don't know you are in the center. Still you are ignorant. Therefore another desire comes. Thus there is a series of desires keep disturbing you. So avidya, asmida, raga and dvesha. From that becomes raga. Raga means desire for something, and dvesha means trying to avoid certain other things. Because by avoiding you try to be happy, by courting you are trying to be happy. And as a result of that, you get into extreme identification, situations from where you are not able to get out. That's called abhinivesha. For example, when you think that by smoking cigarette I will be happy, the first cigarette gives you a great kick, isn't it? First cigarette gives you a great kick. Second cigarette, less kick. Third cigarette, you get kicked, isn't it? So therefore, and not only that, a situation comes, you need 5 packets of cigarette to get the old kick. 5 packets of cigarette, and still you are not happy. This is called a situation of addiction. Addiction means you need more and more of the same while you are getting less and less. Then you are an addict. That addiction is called abhinivesha. I am not able to get out of that. I become a prisoner of my habits. Now I don't know how to get out of. So this is how the desire unfolds in your life. Avidya, asmida, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. And now you are caught up in this web. I am not able to get out of that. This is how we understand the structure of desire. It comes from self-ignorance. Then you identify with the body-mind. Then you desire objects outside. The moment you identify with the body-mind, then you create a division between you and your environment. I am limited by the body. I am limited by the skin of my body. inside I am, outside I am not. This kind of a division comes, and if you see the other, the desire is to either control it or to run away from it, isn't it? Either take it or to run away from that. If you see a rope, you want to take it. If you see a snake, you want to run away from that. Pravritti, nivritti comes. Raga, dvesha comes. And finally, you get into this cesspool of habits, and we are not able to get out of that habit. That habit has gone into the marrows. That's why Bhagavan says, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudbhavaha. And this desire gains full potency, full power when the Rajas is predominant in you. And Rajas acts in cohort with the Tamas. Tamas covers your natural self, and the Rajas projects your wrong self, and then you are desiring objects outside. These are all the work of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas according to Bhagavan. So Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudbhavaha, Mahashanaha Mahapatma. And he is the one who eats your peace of mind. Now you have no peace of mind. Your mind is in pieces. When the mind is in pieces, you say, I'll show you a piece of my mind, isn't it? Mind is already in pieces. Now very difficult to put this mind together. Mind is like a piece of glass. When it is broken, very difficult to put it together. So Mahashano Mahapatma Vidhi Enam Iha Vairinam. This is your enemy. Now this desire can manifest. It's got many avatars, many incarnations. What is the incarnation of the desire? Kama become Krodha. When your desire is frustrated, then you become angry. The same desire become angry. It's like a river. If you put an obstacle in front of the river will gather strength and then push away the obstacle. In great anger, great roar, the river comes against that obstacle. So similarly, the desire frustrated become anger. Desire fulfilled become greed. So Kama, Krodha and Lobha. Naragasya idam trividam dwaram, Bhagavan says. These are the three gateways to hell. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. So let us understand that. Kama means coming from the ignorance. Kama arises when Kama, and what is Kama? Desire for the other. So first of all, you thought there is another, other than me, and I have to acquire it, or I have to run away from it. And then Krodha, Kama, obstructed or frustrated, become anger. So whenever your husband is angry with you, you should understand, why is he angry? Or you are angry with your husband. Why am I angry? Because some of your deepermost desires are not fulfilled. And there are some core desires you have. The core desires cannot be abandoned. So when your desire is not fulfilled, then you have to sit and analyze, do I have to pursue this desire at the cost of my own peace of mind? Or should I pursue, should I not pursue? Or can I wait for some time? Or can I cut down the desire, make it half at least? So this way, we have to sit and analyze. So Kama obstructed become Krodha, Kama fulfilled, then you need more of that. Give me one more. If I give you 100 rupees, you will say, can I get one more rupee? Okay, I give you one more rupee. Can I get one more rupee? So this way, if desire is fulfilled, it becomes greed. If desire is not fulfilled, it becomes anger. Now this desire has got many incarnations. This is your own experience. I don't have to tell you this. But we are sitting together and we are analyzing it. We all are influenced by desire. The desire has got many incarnations. What are the incarnations? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, Damba, Ahangara, Asuya, Irshya. Like Ravana's 10 head. And you all have this. Don't pretend that you don't have this. We all have it, including the Swami. Including the Swami, we have. Well, how did we acquire this? How did we acquire these weapons of offense and defense? We acquired this in our evolutionary journey. We have been evolving from the status of a unicellular organism, an amoeba, and slowly, multicellular being. Finally, we have become this complex entity. Millions and trillions of neurons and cells, and then we have a very complex organism. And in our evolutionary journey, from the amoeba to the human being, we have acquired many weapons of offense and defense. And at that time, those weapons were useful. When you are running away from your predator in the jungle 50 or 70,000 years ago, you all were running away from your predator. And when you see your predator, your enemy, you have to have this anger and you have to have these emotions. Or you are running behind your prey, because we are playing that game of predator and prey. If you see a lion, then lion is your predator and you are a little deer. And then you have your own prey and you run behind the prey. This way we are playing the role of a predator and prey in the jungle 75 or 100 million years ago. And those habits we have acquired. We have kept that habits in us. It is there in your memory cells. It is there in your genetic structure. So if you give a positive spin to those emotions, because since you all have it, I have to make you comfortable. If I tell you shed those emotions, it is difficult. So let us be comfortable with them. In which way this emotion help us for self-defense? And your primary duty is to protect your body. Sarvadharman parityajya shariremeva abhirashyate, isn't it? Sarvadharman parityajya shariremeva abhirashyate. Your primary duty is to protect your body. Because if you have no body, then